Now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. I am your host, Scott. With me, as always, my co-host, Mary.
Mary!
Chris is out tonight. It is his fiance Emily's graduation. Congratulations, Emily. Super exciting.
Emily.
As always, you can connect with us on Facebook, No New Friends Podcast, Instagram, no.new.friends.podcast, and our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to that YouTube channel. There's a ton of videos. Mary's video has gone viral of her reaction to the red wedding. Over 13,000 views.
Is it now?
It's gone over 13,000. Super exciting. As always, please.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. You still have time to nominate us for Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition under the category Best Local Color, Best Local Podcast, and very new, hot off the press, we now have a Patreon. Okay, if you're not familiar with what Patreon is, we're going to explain it a little bit in the show later in the show, but please make sure you visit it at www.patreon.com/No New Friends Podcast. There's going to be a ton of exclusive content and your chance to actually be on the show live with us as we're recording and take part in some contests and all that. Really exciting. All right, that was a mouthful. That's
and on to the next
episode.
segment.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
That was 1:23 seconds. That's crazy. Well, with us tonight, we've got a very special guest, and I'll explain how I met him in a little bit. Brad McCaw from the Gentleman's Room podcast. Brad, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much, Scott, for letting me be on here.
Of course, man. You're doing us a huge favor. It gives us content, man. So thank you for coming. So Mary, I've told you that I belong to 43 different podcast groups on Facebook.
Is it only 43? Because you're really slacking off now.
It actually went up one. So
okay, good.
Joe,
4. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Killing it.
4 on top of it.
Joe from the Diz His podcast turned me on to another one and invited me. So I'm there now too. But Brad had he just posted his very first episode and was looking for someone to listen to it. And the name of it, The Gentleman's Room, really kind of piqued my interest. You know, a lot of times on these Facebook groups, I don't necessarily look in depth into the episode, especially if it's long. He's got a very quick, 10, 15 minute episode, and it's all kind of a guide to being a gentleman. And Mary,
I feel like you need a longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, but it's like Brad, I'll let you tell us about your podcast.
So I started this podcast. Like, I actually started it originally whenever I was out driving with my mom, and I was driving on my way to school, and I was like, "Mom, I want to do a podcast." And she was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to do a podcast about guy stuff." And she was like, "Well, there's stuff already out there." I'm like, "Yeah, but I kind of want to make it my own way, my own niche with it." I'm no Joe Rogan and
he's no Scott Maffei yet, but
Exactly.
we're gonna get him there.
Oh,
I brought him
Lord.
under my wing, and we're gonna make those wings soar, and you're gonna fly high, my friend.
And
Spread your wings and prepare to fly.
exactly. And so I just was so fascinated. Like, I searched up all the stuff, how to do a podcast, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But when I was in school, I was like, I can't do this while I'm in school.
So what you're saying is you did more research and preparation than Mary and I did.
Yes.
Okay. Just so we're clear, because I said, you know what, let's just have a Zoom call and record.
Yeah, you didn't tell me that it was going to be a real podcast.
Right. Surprise. And here we are 26 episodes later. Please continue, Brad. Sorry.
It's all good. Like, so whenever I was doing it, I literally was like, this is really cool. And I was like, I would try to start on this one website, but then I was like, it's not letting my recording. So then I tried this whole thing called Anchor that
Love Anchor.
It really has showed me how really podcasts work. I've had classes that kind of have some kind of social media, have to do with media production, but at the same time, I'm just an everyday dude wanting to learn new stuff. Like, I did a episode about swear etiquette,
I love that episode, especially when you so he goes through and he defines each curse word. And my favorite is when he talks about asshole. And he goes, look, assholes, everyone's got one and they're stinky. And you said they're stinky probably 4 times. And I'm getting ready for my garage sale listening to it. And I almost spit out my drink. It was so freaking funny.
It's funny because so many of my friends, I hear them when they swear. I'm like, that doesn't sound correctly. Like, I feel like they need to have a book about like how to say this word, what way to say it, professional term, non-professional term, like all these series of things with it.
I think Mary is publishing a book, 50 ways to say the word shit.
What?
I don't know.
No, I actually, there's a specific explicit that I use like a comma. I can't say it because I don't want this episode to be listed as
what
explicit.
letter does it start with?
F.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Oh, are you talking about fire truck?
How did you know? Listen, we're not
Parfanugan.
supposed to say it now. Great. It's going to be explicit, guys.
You're welcome.
Oh, goodness.
So you said you were driving in the car with your mom and was this always the podcast that you wanted to do? Just kind of about gentlemen?
Absolutely. I saw How I Met Your Mother, and I saw Barney.
I'm watching that right now. Sorry, I'm watching that show.
Oh my
right
gosh.
now.
Scott, do you want to know what he has going on in his life, or do you want to talk about
so
you
mad at me
again?
because I do this all the time in interviews. I just butted. Sorry, I'm watching that show right now. I'm on my second go around of it. So please continue. Sorry, I love that Barney's your
Scott,
inspiration
how do I
for your
mute
podcast.
you? Can I mute you?
So I was watching How I Met Your Mother, and I was like, you know what? Barney is kind of the person that every guy wants to be like. And then I was like, you know what? They need to have a podcast or some kind of video or some kind of like how to be an alpha male. But there is a YouTube channel called The Alpha Male, but the dude doesn't even look like he would be like an alpha.
That's
He
funny.
looks like the beta. Okay.
Brad, your podcast is exactly what I need because I am not the alpha male. I love chick flicks. I love Broadway show tunes. I mean, we did a whole episode that we may win a Tony from that episode because I'm very in touch with my feminine side, if you will. So I love that you're doing this because it's education for me as well. Now, swear etiquette, I kind of know, but the first episode you were talking about whiskey
American
and cigars.
whiskey.
Yeah, whiskey.
And so I've always with friends, I've always had like a really funny kind of humor. A lot of my friends kind of told me that if Deadpool was like a real person, I would be Deadpool. Like with his humor, like I
Nice.
literally make so many people laugh. Like, and they're like, "What the hell? What?"
So a combination of Barney Stinson and Deadpool. I like it. That's
And then,
cool.
And whenever I talk, like when people don't even know me, they're like, okay, this guy probably has one of those like medium pitch voice. But then when I talk, they're like, wait, did he just say that? He has a deep voice.
You do have a very solid, natural, deep, radio voice. It's
That's
fantastic.
what makes it perfect for the gentleman's room.
right. Exactly.
I also looked up to like the Dos Equis guy, like the most greatest,
The most
guy.
interesting man in the world.
Exactly. And I'm like, you know what? I really want to try to make my voice be heard, make everyone else hear it. So it'd be so different than one another.
That's so cool. That's so cool. So I listened to it and Brad and I just kind of connected on Facebook, just chatting back and forth, exchanged phone numbers. We were messaging back and forth. So I don't know the occasion, but I had been drinking a little bit. So I called Brad.
Of course you did. Oh my gosh.
Because as
Wait
we've
a minute.
established,
I remember exactly. It was during your daughter's sleepover.
yes, my
Very
daughter was
first
having a slumber party.
That is not okay. Listen, Scott, is he replacing James Yan as your like number one
know, right?
dial? Because
I
he may
know.
be relieved now.
Like we've established in an earlier episode, I cannot be trusted with my phone when I'm drinking
Never.
because
Never.
I'll just call people that I've never we've never met. We just connected over Facebook and
Why
I'm like,
did
all
you-
right, man, I'm gonna call you.
Walk me through your thought process on that. Like,
Well,
were you
I-
actively texting and then
Yes.
Scott just calls you? Like, what was your reaction, Brad? Like, how did you feel that this dude is like, let me just call you.
I actually was ecstatic because
And who wouldn't be, Mary? Who wouldn't be ecstatic to get a phone call from me?
Well, whenever you're drunk, no. Send that
go
to
ahead.
voicemail. Sorry, Brad.
Just like something about it, like there's people on the Facebook groups that are like, "Oh, I'll listen to it," but they don't really listen to it.
No,
They're
they
like,
just want to. They just want to like trade
Say it.
listens. That's
Yeah.
it.
And whenever he was like, "Can I give you my opinion about it?" I was like, "Absolutely! I want people's opinion, not one of those like, oh, it was really good," and then like, "What was your favorite part?"
Yeah, they can't
you
give.
talk
They can't
about
give you
this?
an example.
That time when you talked about gentleman club stuff.
My
favorite part.
Said, stay thirsty, my friend. I think I'm like, no. It made me feel like I'm not just Scott. Really showed that okay, I might actually have something. And
Yeah.
I worked at a place that literally my boss was an ex NFL football player, and I asked
Nice.
if I could interview him, and he was like, yeah, sure. And I sent him my topic, and he literally goes around the office saying my topics, and so many people were making fun of me because of it. I was like, well, you're not making it fun. I wanted it to be like really personal that I asked you.
Yeah,
And it showed me that he's a good guy, but at the same time, whenever I try to text him, like, hey, could I have an interview you about your company he started? He was like, yeah, sure. And then he was like, but I'm constantly busy. I'm like, okay, but I constantly see he's at work. And I'm like, you're not. You're just trying to say that to make me feel good.
right, right. So what is the future of the Gentleman's Room podcast? What are some future topics or themes that we have to look forward to?
Well, funny thing you said that. Let me pull up my whole notes on my phone real quick. I have some of the most common stuff, like such as cigars, cars, cologne, coffee. It's just a lot of guy stuff.
Yeah.
I have a question here in the back.
Yes.
Now, when you say cologne, is it like you are rating them, or you're like trying different ones, or do you like go into things like Versace? It has notes of
Exactly,
and it pairs well with regret.
No, that's Tommy and Fitch you're talking about.
Oh, okay. First of all, Brad, you watch yourself, because Abercrombie Fierce, that was, you know what, we don't need to talk about it, but that was the reason why I dated half the people I did in high school and college. So
okay, let me get the blue steel out of the way. Or the Derek Zoolander out the way.
Yeah, right.
Like I will try to get like all different smells. Like, okay, this has a little hints of this, and this has a little hints of this. This is good on this kind of date. This is good on this. It's just I will recommend, like, if you're meeting a girl for the first time, you need to smell like this. Or if you're meeting a guy for the first time, I don't care however way you swing.
Mhm.
It just there's someone that needs to kind of help people, like help a guy be a guy and try to help them along the way.
Yeah. No.
Wait. So I have. Sorry, Scott.
No, Mary, go ahead.
So, like, if a lady listens to this podcast, is there any insider information that we could gather?
Well, I actually, for my next episode, believe it or not, I'm actually doing about dick pics.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Mary loves those.
No, never.
No,
There's
she does not.
actually
That's one of
never
the
a good
things-
time.
Exactly.
There's never a good time. It doesn't matter. You could be married for 30 years, and I guarantee your wife would open her phone and be like, you've got to be kidding me right now. Like, what the hell?
That's one of the things I'm going to say about it's never okay.
No, why do you want a picture of that? If I wanted to see it, I would see it in person. Obviously, we're in a point where you're willing to show me.
Exactly.
No, thank you. No me gusta.
So that's the next episode is all about D-pics?
Yes.
Why
I
do you say
can't
D
wait.
pics? We
I don't
already
know.
said dick. You can say that, you know.
I know.
He
It's somebody's
doesn't want
name.
his daughter to hear this.
She
Oh,
doesn't
well.
listen. Actually, no, she does.
Oh
So-
no, she
so, like-
heard us talking shit about
No.
her tooth too.
No. She only listens to the Sunday night episode as I'm driving her to daycare on Monday. She's like, "Can we listen to your podcast?" So
Wait, it's today is not Sunday night.
No, this is not
Okay.
Sunday night's episode.
What day of the week is it, guys? I've had a long week.
Well, okay, for us right now, we are recording on Wednesday. This is Thursday night's show.
Dang it, I missed $5 sushi at Publix.
Damn it.
Oh my God. Okay, the hits just keep coming.
I know,
at
you're
this
having-
point. Like
You're having a really bad day, and I want to hear all about that.
Having a rough
All
day.
about that when we come back. All right, Brad, thanks so much for coming on tonight. We really appreciate it. We're going to be looking forward to the next episode all about D-Pix. When does that come out?
That probably comes out about Friday.
Friday. Awesome. So when it comes out, make sure you subscribe to the Gentleman's Room on podcast podcast on Spotify, Apple. Where else are you at? Anchor, obviously.
Yeah, and Facebook. I've made a Facebook group.
Perfect. Yeah. So the Gentleman's Room on Facebook. And then we'll also share his information when his episode comes out. Brad, thank you so much for stopping by and spending the evening with us. We appreciate it, man.
No problem.
All right. Have a good one. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back. No New Friends podcast is now using Nikki Podcast Preparations Incorporated, which is a podcast management consultant agency of services that helps independent podcasts obtain more plays, downloads, guests, sponsors, and a bunch of the legwork behind the microphone when it comes to podcasting. CEO Nick can be contacted via Twitter or Instagram at NikkiKeepyINC. And if you tell him that the No New Friends podcast sent you, we'll both get a 25% discount. Nikki has helped accumulate millions upon millions of downloads, tens of thousands of dollars in sponsorships, celebrity guests, and much more. So just shoot him a direct message to get your podcast growing.
At this time, the No New Friends podcast would like to thank one of our supporters, Chris Kelleher. Thank you for being a supporter of the No New Friends podcast. You too can be a supporter. It's very simple. All you have to do is click on the link in the episode description, and you too, for as low as 99 cents per month, can support the No New Friends podcast. What this does is goes towards new equipment, marketing, and other operating expenses. Support today, and again, thank you, Chris Kelleher.
Hey, this is Craig Brooks with Tasty Trivia, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. And you know the drill. I'm not going to do it anymore because you hear me talk about it all the time. The only thing I really want to talk about right now is our Patreon page. Okay, that's www.patreon.com/No New Friends podcast. You're going to have, it's going to be really, really cool. So for $3, you're going to get everything that I post, whether it's on YouTube or the podcast. You're going to get it early. Like the first possible moment, you're going to get it. You're going to have exclusive, what am I looking at? Access. Thank you.
Words
Thank
are
you.
so hard for you.
They're
today.
really tough. They're really tough. And I'll let you know why they're
Sorry,
tough.
I
It's
threw
okay.
you off already.
It's ridiculous. I'll just talk about it now. Just remind me to come back to Patreon because there's going to be some really, really cool things that we're doing.
Okay.
So we went from recording anytime between like 9:30 a.m. and noon, which was perfect. Like I'm waking up, I've had my coffee. Well, now because you got a stupid job, we have to record at 8 o'clock and like 8 o'clock at night. So it's at the end of my day. I'm tired. And honestly, like today I've been working all day on, I'm a professional content. What is wrong with me?
Here's the thing though. I like that you give me crap about turning into a pumpkin at night, but I still have words. So like, it's not fair.
I know. I don't turn into a pumpkin. Like I'll be up till midnight tonight. It's
just not talking. You'll be completely mute.
I can't talk. Like when I was editing the last episode and forget the fact that we had so many audio problems, but I'm just all over the place stuttering and whatever. And I'm like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, I agree though. Like by the end of the day, so before we started recording this episode, I was watching Game of Thrones. Surprise.
Which we need an update. We haven't had an update from you in forever.
I know. Would you like that really quickly?
Really quick. Where are you in it?
I believe I just finished season 5, episode 6, and I was not
Oh.
pleased with that episode.
Okay, what happened in that episode?
Well, Sansa had to marry Ramsay, and it was very bad.
Oh, remember when I said that there's a character that I hate more than Joffrey?
Yes. Oh my
You
gosh,
agree?
he's the worst.
Do you agree,
he is
though?
the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like just an awful, awful, awful human.
Yeah.
I like left that episode to come record and was like, that probably didn't help my mood, honestly. Like, I think that made me even more angry. Okay, let me lay out for you why I'm a little grumpy right now.
Yeah, please do. And I mean, again, I'm grumpy because I miss my best friend.
Oh, I miss
I-
you too. I know you text me and you're like, I hate your job.
Like, I don't even like, you know, your text to respond, like my text to actually get a response ratio from you is like, you're
I
like me
know.
now. You're like
I
me.
don't. No, but okay. You're not wrong. It's just when I'm like, I'm just
know,
busy
I
right
get it.
now.
You're
Work is
busy.
a little
No.
busy.
Look, I give you a lot of shit but I completely understand. It just,
But on the weekends, I feel like I make up for it. I text you a lot on the weekends when I'm
yeah,
able to.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's
Yeah.
almost like, do you remember back in the day when you had to wait for people to like call you after a certain time for 3
Yes.
minutes?
Yeah.
Or on the weekends? That's what I feel like is
Right.
happening.
No,
you can only
exactly.
have my minutes at night and on the weekends.
I'm gonna have to Google because there are some major Game of Thrones events that are gonna be coming up. And I need to Google when they happen so that you can come over and we can
Oh my
record more.
gosh. Well, here's the thing too. So this episode was the faceless man. Like you see the room with all the faces.
Ah,
And that was super creepy. I
Yes.
did not enjoy that part.
but that's a
I-
big part of Arya's
Yeah,
story.
It's very weird. Very weird. Okay, so let's
So
talk
why are
about
you in a
I'm
bad
grumpy.
mood?
So work was great. You know,
Okay.
obviously challenging. Good day. Wonderful. And then I had to go to Publix to get Dexter's medicine. So, and you needed milk and like other stuff, just a few things. Grab that.
Did you
Checking
get
out.
my medication or not?
Yeah, did you get my medication or not? And then I realized I forgot laundry detergent. So then I'm one of those people, and I'm so awkward, like socially awkward, and have social anxiety. So I didn't want to finish checking out and then go get something else. So I put the stuff in my car and went to Target for the laundry detergent.
So
Target is
here,
right next door to Publix, though.
I really want to give you shit right now, but I have done the same.
You would do the
thing.
same thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
Yeah. The,
So,
the exception
yeah.
is like the gas station specific things. Like I'll go in to get a soda and a pack of cigarettes and I'll forget that I needed a lighter. So I'll go back and get the lighter. That's
Yeah,
the
but
only exception I make.
I feel like there's no shame at a gas
No,
station. It's
no,
different.
yeah,
It's
there's no
different.
shame.
So get home after that and, you know, just get dinner and all that stuff. And Zoe, when we went to the skating rink, you know, big party on Saturday, her and all of her friends were drinking Monster in the car. And Zoe is into this thing where she collects Monster cans now. Don't ask me why, but she does. I know.
So she's not recycling. She's not trying to save the world by recycling them. She's
I don't know.
just
She might
collecting
be.
these cans.
She may be upcycling them. I don't know.
Okay. I mean,
So-
like I collect novelty wine bottles or beer bottles, like things that my kitchen almost looks like a college apartment with all the
Wonderful.
with all the,
That's
the
nice.
glasses that are up top. Anyway,
So she wanted to go see if those cans were still in the car. So she opens the door, and something that you don't know about Waffles is she's a runner, she's a track star. And this hoe darts out of the door, not Zoe, the dog. And so there's something really unfortunate about Waffles is she loves cars, loves them.
okay.
Waffles loves cars, and I live right by a road. that is
Oh
not-
no.
Yes. So I, take off to go get Waffles. And here's where I got grumpy. Zoe just kept going to the car to like get what she
Yeah.
wanted out.
They're oblivious. They're oblivious.
Zoe, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? She's like mid opening door, and she's like, "Oh, I was hoping Waffles would jump in the car." And I was like, "No, you did. Get her out. Go
Yeah.
catch the dog."
They recover real quick.
Oh,
Like I
she
feel
tried-
like they
oh my
stay up at
goodness.
night Googling responses.
Thinking,
to
yes,
parents'
that's
reprimands.
Yeah. And here's the thing is I didn't have time to even put shoes on. So I'm like huffing it across the freaking road, no shoes. And then she runs to a part where there's like just mulch. So I'm running on mulch without shoes, and she stopped. It was terrible. It was terrible. And so she stops for a second, and I was like, oh, now's my chance. And so I like sacrificed my body for the team and dove, and I did not catch her. It wasn't until she got across the road to where there's like shops, and she saw herself in a reflection, and it stopped her in her tracks, and she was just staring at herself. I can't I don't blame her because she's very pretty.
I'm going to need to have a conversation with Zoe, and I'm going to tell you why. Anytime that she feels like her mom is going to do something silly that should be on YouTube, she needs to be recording and send me the video.
Well, I mean, that's about as helpful as she was. She might as well have just been recording the whole thing.
Because then we can, add content.
No, I don't want people to see me dive for a dang corgi and completely mess. Like, awful. I'm so skinned up.
For those of you who haven't seen it, there is now a video of Mary post wisdom teeth.
I'm not even going to say anything. I gave you permission, but now I regret it a little bit.
Well, the video is doing well.
Oh, great. Wonderful. And then I watched Game of Thrones, and and you know what? I didn't have dino nugs like I was planning on tonight. I just didn't get around to it. So that's not really helping.
So you're a little hangry then too?
I'm not even hangry. I don't feel hungry. I just want them.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just, I don't know. I'm just in a mood, I guess.
I gotcha. Yeah, I do the same thing where I overeat and I'm like stuffed. And then 10 minutes later, I'm eating 4 cheese sticks, like a wood shredder or wood.
A wood. Yeah, no, you do like a wood chipper. You just feed it in. You just feed it right in. It's the craziest thing. I don't understand it. But yeah, so that was the situation. I'm getting in a better mood, I guess, probably because I know I get to go to sleep soon. I don't know.
Or maybe because you're spending the next 45 minutes with your best friend.
Well, that too. That's obvious, though.
I mean, I look forward to this every single day. I feel like this is now an obligation to you.
Well, yeah, but not. Oh God, that sounded wrong. No, I don't like. That means I'm not going to not do it. Like it's a priority. It's on my calendar.
Maybe obligate is the wrong word.
Yeah, I mean, obligations aren't bad. It's not a burden. I don't do anything. I just show up. You do all the things. It's great. I actually love this setup.
Well, I was talking to Chris after you got off the Zoom.
What, you're trying to figure out how you guys can boot me off of my own podcast?
We already have a plan. No, I'm just kidding. No, we were talking after you left, and he said you got to do whatever you can to work around her schedule because she kind of like. I mean, you do. I'm the host, and I'll make sure that the topics run smooth and all that. But
tell us about the sides.
Yeah, we'll make sure we talk about the sides. You really interject with the upbeatness, and you kind of steer things without even realizing, because you'll say something and then that's the direction I want to take it.
Oh, well, thank you. Now tell me how pretty I am.
Of course you're pretty. You're an integral part of this team.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So there's a lot of things with this Patreon that you don't even know.
Oh, yeah. I actually know nothing about anything that you're talking about. And I don't like how it's pronounced Patreon. I'm just going to say it.
Okay. Well, I don't like that word. The CEO.
That would be good.
Anyway, so the $3 thing, like I said, you get the early access to any of our content. You're going to get some bonus material. For example, there was some copyright issues on Mary's red wedding video on YouTube. So I had to make a small edit to it. And so now it's not as good. Well, on our Patreon page, you're going to get the unedited version of it, and you're going to get some bonus material that you're going to get some bonus material that the public won't get. That's for $3 a month. No big deal. You're going to spend that on coffee times 10 in one day. So that's the $3 tier. Huh? Yeah. The $5 tier is going to get you so it's going to get you everything the $3 tier gets you. And then the $5 tier is also going to get you the entire No New Friends podcast episode as we recorded it on Zoom, no editing. So that also includes the shit that we talk about in the break or before the show or after the show, which sometimes is really funny and just doesn't make it to the show. So you're going to have access to these videos. Nobody else will. These are going to be private videos that aren't going to see YouTube public. So for $5, you get that. For $10,
I like how you're like, these are private videos.
They're not
that doesn't
porn.
it doesn't sound okay. No, I just feel like they shouldn't be labeled. Two
Okay.
things we need to edit: Patreon and private videos.
Okay, I'll work on that.
I'm not comfortable with these things.
Yeah.
Continue on, sir.
but
We're all listening.
Seeing the YouTube videos, you know, I try to always put out one segment per episode on YouTube, but you get to see our facial expressions during day for different things. You get to see our backgrounds. Like right now, Mary's got a background of her and I doing a funny pose.
Oh no,
And-
look, it's just my pillows now. What happened?
And I've got a picture of my wife and I in front of the Men in Black sign at Universal Studios. Earlier, I had the Price is Right. The
wheel was
penny
pretty
wheel.
cool.
Yeah. So the $10 option, $10 per month, it's going to get you everything that the $5 one does, but you're also going to get a shout out on the air. So what that means is if you've got a private business, a small business that you want to promote for $10 a month, we're going to do that for you. We're going to promote your business for you for just $10 a month, which is super, super cheap. Okay. Then the $20.
Scott, how long is this going to go on? I feel like you gotta.
I got one more tier.
Okay. How are there so many tiers? Is this a wedding
There's
cake?
4
What is
tiers. There's
happening?
4 tiers. I'm really excited about the $20 tier. So the $20 tier is going to get you everything else, but we're also going to send you the Zoom link so that you can be with us here live as we're recording the episode.
Scott, I know what you are right now. I know what you are.
What?
Do you remember when you were in elementary school and you had to do fundraisers and there was a guy that like came and hyped you up and he's like, if you sell 5 items, you're going to get this slingshot pin. If you think that's great, sell 10 items and you're going to get the pin and
Plus.
a slinky. You sell 20 items, you get to have lunch with the principal and everything else. That's literally what is happening. Continue on.
Yeah. So our $20 tier, you're going to get to sit in with us live as we record these episodes, and you're going to be able to participate through the Zoom chat. And then who knows, we may bring you on for, a question. If you have a question, maybe we'll bring you on and
We'll
we're going to
bring
do
you on for questioning.
question and answer. Like, hey, Mary, what's that growth on your forehead?
It is very large. Look, no, I was at work today and I looked at my administrator and I was like, I think we need to fill out a new hire packet. It might as well collect a paycheck while it's here. It's very bad. It's not good.
And then we're going to do some, in-show contests, like some trivia contests for the listeners. So I think it'll be really cool. Everybody, a lot of content creators use this. Look, our regular listeners are not going to, they're not going to miss out on anything except for the bonus stuff. You're going to still hear our episodes 3 times a week, all that good stuff.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So I'm excited about it, and I spent all day working on it. So it
No,
better
that
be-
is exciting. Look,
Yeah.
it is exciting. I'm glad that you're doing things like that because, like
And-
I said,
yeah, and
but
if
in
you-
a few weeks, it'll be a lot easier. Like
Yeah.
I'll be in there like swimwear,
Right. No, it's fine. And right now, if you do the $5, $10, or $20 tier, and they've got cool creative names, the $20 tier is called Official New Friend.
Oh, that's cool. They should
yeah.
get a bumper sticker or something too.
Well, they have merch too. We can create our own merch that they will sell for us.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
so
nice.
I need your help with that. But yeah, so if you do the $5, $10, or $20 tier, all of the videos that we're promising you are already up there. And then
the
tonight's-
private videos.
all right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
Okay, let's be friends. Follow the No New Friends podcast on Facebook and Instagram at No New Friends Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our new YouTube channel, No New Friends Podcast, where you can get a behind-the-scenes look at our recordings, everyday life, and shenanigans. Okay, bye.
Hi, this is comedian Miguel Colon, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Chris, again, is out tonight. He is with his fiance who just graduated from college. That's super exciting.
Woo!
So good for them. He deserves the night off. We've been working him to the bone. Man, that guy is super talented. Did you see the promo video he did that's on Facebook?
For us?
Yeah. Oh my God, Mary,
Okay.
you are the worst.
I haven't been on Facebook.
I know. You just responded to something that I tagged you in like 3 or 4 days ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just, I've been spending more time on the TikTok, but not really even doing anything, just scrolling and laughing, but not even laughing. Like I'll lay there and I just go, and that's it. And then I keep going.
I'm trying to build a brand here, Mary.
I'll look at it.
So
I'll look at it.
what it is from the last episode when he had the fun backgrounds with him walking up, giving himself a drink, and then taking
a picture. That was so cool. He's so funny.
It's a minute-long video of just that and our reactions to it, and then it ends and it goes to like kind of a really cool, like when the TV goes out, the cable goes out with the whatever, but it's our intro music.
Oh,
and
that's
it says
cool.
No New Friends Podcast now streaming everywhere. And it's
Aw,
really,
fun.
really cool.
Look at that. See, he is the missing piece of our puzzle.
He is the missing piece of our puzzle.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay,
and we've been discussing things about the podcast all day. So,
well, yeah. I mean, you guys have been blowing up the No New Friends podcast text chat group. I'll look at my phone at work and I have like 15 missed text messages. And then every now and then I'll just like one of them just so I'm alive.
right.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
I did a really cool thing with Chris and the guys from Diz His, Joe and Alex last night. We were live on Twitch and we did a fantasy draft with Madden, Madden football.
Mm-hmm.
We each drafted our team and then we simulated a whole season. So it was actually really cool. And look, they just wanted to do it and stream it. And, it was just a lot of us kind of BSing with each other and giving each other crap. But it was fun. Now, Alex took all day and prepared. He had 20
Spreadsheets.
pages of notes of who he was going to draft. And I was like, wait a second. First of all, I didn't know, like Joe said that this was very informal. It's not a podcast. We're just streaming this, just having fun. All y'all are in football jerseys, so I had to go change and put my football jersey on. And Alex has done research. Like I take fantasy football very seriously, and I didn't take it seriously at all. In fact, I didn't even write down my picks, and I'm like, oh crap, I've got to pick offensive linemen and defense players. Like I don't know what I'm doing. Like there was going to be like 50 rounds because you have to draft your entire team. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Who has time for 50?
Well, I know it
rounds
was
of
like 9:30,
drafting?
and we were on round 12.
Were you still able to speak, or were you
I
just
know. I think
communicating
that's-
via ASL at that point?
Exactly. So finally, we all like Joe, Chris, and I agreed that you know what, let's go ahead and simulate the rest of the draft. Alex like throws his book up and he's like, "I'm prepared all day."
Oh.
But his hard work paid off because when we simulated it, he was the Bengals and he made it to the AFC Championship.
Well, that's nice.
I didn't make the playoffs and Chris didn't make the playoffs, but Joe and Alex made the playoffs. Alex made it all the way to the AFC Championship. So I guess the hard work pays off.
Wow.
But if you follow Diz His on Twitch, we're going to do that again because we saved it and we're going to keep simulating seasons and kind of doing the thing. But it's, what we're doing may not necessarily be interesting to everybody, but the conversations that we have while we're doing that.
I would
super fun.
I would think the conversations would be great. I would not be interested in watching a fantasy draft for Madden.
No.
I would not be excited.
It was fun
about
for
that.
us, but like I said, the key point, it's so much fun to interact with those guys.
Mhm.
And they have a following on Twitch and they're all watching and it's super it's super interactive because you can comment back and forth with Twitch. Like I was having a conversation with Dane, who is like their #1 fan, and it's super fun. It was a lot of fun. So follow them on Twitch. They do all sorts of fun things. Plus they do Diz Journey and then the Diz His podcast, which is a really good podcast.
I have something that is very exciting happening in my life right now.
Okay.
Well, let me
what's
tell
that?
you what happened today that I should not say I'm in a bad mood because something very good did happen today. There is a car detailer that comes to my work and does our cars while we're working. They come and get our keys and they clean the inside and the outside. And I don't know if you remember what my car looks like.
Yes.
I paid him extra. Like I was like, here, buddy, I think you deserve this. But so I got in my car after work and I was like, man, this is clean. Like this
Yeah,
is
they
nice.
do a really good job.
Yeah. And then I saw
Did you see if they wanted to
this-
sponsor the show?
huh?
Did you see if they wanted to sponsor
No.
the show?
Okay. And then I saw this on my center console.
That's like an engagement ring.
No, it's just like it's a ring.
It's a ring.
And I realized that I was wearing it one day and then I guess it just wasn't on anymore because it was in my car. Like
wow.
the detailer found this in my car. And I was like, that was very nice that they returned it and put it like on my thing. So that was really cool. So I have that back and that's very nice. Also, I realize it's less than 2 weeks until I go to the Great Wolf Lodge in Georgia. And I'm very excited. The unfortunate part is we're driving. And I don't know if you know what that means right now, but I'm going to have to go fight a mob at a gas station.
No, you're not. It's over. It's done.
What do you mean it's over?
It's over.
I couldn't get gas in Lake Mary tonight. There was a line.
By tomorrow,
for
you'll be able to.
one pump.
It's all
One
done.
pump.
It's all done and over with. The gas is flowing again. It's all done. Like that's why I wanted to talk about this whole gas thing today. But by the time this episode airs tomorrow night, we'll be done with it for 2 days. Like it came and went faster than Ebola. Like it was
Ebola it still exists. Like it's not gone.
Okay.
Gas shortages still exist.
No, it's not like I mean, we're gonna see some high gas prices for a little bit, but like yesterday, I didn't have a wait to get to the gas station. Like every pump was full, but as I was pulling up, someone was leaving. There was plenty of gas. Now today, when I went to go get a Diet Coke Light Ice at the 7-Eleven, there was no gas except for diesel. But yeah, or as of like 6 o'clock tonight, the gas crisis is over.
What would you bet that every single person who is filling up like containers were the same people who are still using the toilet paper that they stocked up on?
100%.
I hate all of them.
Because
why would you do that?
We create our own issues. Like it's so effing stupid. Like and I saw a lot of memes like if you all keep hoarding gas, we're gonna be back to homeschooling again.
No,
buses aren't gonna be able to run.
That's hilarious. No, I saw a picture of somebody who had like 4 or 5 like red tanks that they filled up and put in their car.
Or
Why?
like the
Why
big
would you do that?
5-gallon or 10-gallon, whatever, the big blue barrels. And then I see people filling up plastic bags.
That can't be real. Why? What are you gonna do with that?
Well, I'm sure it was in Florida.
It had to be in Florida. That's terrible.
But yeah, we create our own problems. It's so stupid. Like the toilet paper nonsense and the gas nonsense. It's like I still don't understand the whole toilet paper thing because I guess at the time, if people thought that our lockdowns were going to be like what they were in Italy, where you could only go to the grocery store on certain days, based on your last name and all that, then I guess I get stocking up a little bit because it can be a problem and you don't want to leave your house. But like nobody, like for the first 3 weeks, we're yelling at everybody, do your part, stay inside. And then we had the whole mask debate for the next year and a half. So
I think it is pretty silly that in the beginning, when things were like relatively bad, we were all a little sketch about the masks. Like we were like, I don't know, man.
Well,
should we?
Well, because initially they had a mask shortage. Remember, they were running out of masks. And so the CDC came out and said, don't wear the masks, don't do you any good. And they said that so that there wasn't a run on masks, so that healthcare workers could have their masks. Then when people started creating their own and masks weren't an issue anymore, then they're like, oh yeah, you definitely have to wear a mask. So like we were lied to at first.
I don't know if I would say we were lied to.
We were misled.
I think that more of what I was getting at was more of the people being like, masks don't really help. But we also wonder, like there was a time of uncertainty after like schools were shut and businesses were shut where there was still like, I don't know, man. And now it's just a part of our everyday thing. Like, I think that that's really crazy that we were almost like really hesitant to get on board with it. And obviously, like how long has it been now that we've been wearing masks? Like we're broaching a year.
Yeah, because it was, I remember when the whole thing first started, going to the grocery store without a mask on.
Yeah, I remember doing that too.
Yeah,
just raw dogging the virus. Yeah, here we are.
I felt like I was in an episode of The Walking Dead. Like anytime they went on a run, it could be the last time we see a major character. And that was like, and like every time that, because remember at first it was, oh, it lives on this surface for this amount of time, this surface. So anytime I touch something, hand sanitizer. Like I was so paranoid. Come to find out it doesn't live on surfaces. It's just all airborne. It's so crazy that the peaks and valleys that we've taken. But I guess the whole point that I was trying to make is we all thought it was going to be this really strict lockdown, and the really strict lockdown lasted like 5 seconds.
No, Florida stayed open the entire time. What are you talking
No,
about?
yeah, nothing. Like everything was an essential job.
Mm-hmm.
Like I looked at that definition list and everything was an essential job.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Party on, Florida.
Did you see the meme? The best part of like these crises are the memes. Now, like
yeah, for sure.
During Hurricane Dorian, like the state of Florida literally bullied Hurricane Dorian with memes so that it would,
and it went away.
It worked.
It worked.
So
Okay.
we've done that with coronavirus. We've done that with the murder hornets. Like the murder hornets, like saw what kind of a shitty year we were having, and they're like, you know what? Now's probably not a good time. We'll come back when it's more convenient.
We'll see you later. It's fine. I almost forgot about the murder hornets.
Yeah,
because I didn't experience them.
I know. So I saw one today. It's the Dr. Evil and his assistant, and he says it looks like everybody's getting back to normal. Call in the gas crisis and call in the gas crisis.
Everyone's acting like a human again.
Yeah.
Let's throw them a curveball. It'll be fine.
Exactly. So what else is going on?
This weekend is my sister's baby shower.
Oh, that's exciting.
And I'm very excited.
Yeah.
On Sunday, she's not gonna have the baby, but we're gonna celebrate her little baby. And I'm excited about that. Yeah, I have to hoof down to Winter Haven for it, but I'm excited. Ooh. Yeah, I know. Ooh. Every other week, man.
Yeah.
I make the commute.
Yuck.
It's not terrible. It's
not terrible
awful.
for my house.
No, it's awful
maybe move
on
out
the
to Winter
way
Garden.
On the way down because little humans are loud and they are always thirsty and hungry, or they have to go pee every 15 minutes.
Right,
the way back is wonderful. It's an hour and a half to myself.
That's 2 episodes of the No New Friends podcast.
I know, but I get time to just like.
Yeah, just chill. That's nice.
Yeah.
I need to circle back to something real quick because you said something and I had a response to it. And then we started talking about the gas crisis.
Oh, sorry.
Did I approve this little trip to whatever?
Great Wolf Lodge?
You're going? Yeah.
I don't know.
When are you gone? What days? What dates?
I will be gone May 25th, 6th, and 7th.
Oh, okay. So Abby's birthday. Got it.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to have to prearrange our recording schedule. We may.
I could record live from the Great Wolf Lodge.
How's the white Wi-Fi in the mountains?
It's not in the mountains
or the woods.
It's not in the woods. It's a water park resort hotel situation.
Oh, nice. Well, then, yeah, we could do that. That'd be fun. You gonna remember to bring your microphone?
Maybe. I need you to go onto their website and look at it. It's really cool. I went last year with the kids.
Well, here, let's do this right now because
you're gonna share it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so we're staying at the one in Georgia.
Okay.
Are you sharing your screen now? I see it. So it's really fun though. They have this whole Great Wolf Lodge. I almost started to type, like I went to reach for my laptop to like help you. Great clips.
All right, Great Wolf Lodge, Atlanta.
It's not exactly in Atlanta, but close enough.
So for those of you who are listening and are like, oh, what are you doing? I'm looking up the Great Wolf Lodge. And
okay, so let me give you a rundown.
If you are a member
of
our Patreon, you can actually see what I'm doing right now.
Okay, listen. So they have a water park, and then they have this thing called the Magi Quest.
Okay.
And it is so much fun. You use a wand and you
This was on Undercover Boss.
Maybe.
This was definitely on because it was the first female CEO that they had on there. It was like one of the first couple seasons. Continue, please.
And then like the game, you go around with a wand and you complete all these different challenges. And that's a lot of fun. And then they have rock climbing and bowling, and they have an arcade. It's just a good time, and everybody wears these little ears everywhere, and I really enjoy that. I wear my ears all the time. It's a howling good time.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, that looks badass.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna have to plan a family vacation there because I
you
like
will.
it.
It's so much
within driving
fun.
distance. You don't have to fly there.
Yeah, and the drive isn't too bad. I mean, it's
No, it's god
6 or
awful.
7 hours. No, I don't think it's that bad. It's 6 or 7 hours.
As
We
long as you
usually
don't hit
leave like
Atlanta traffic.
yeah. Well, we leave at like 4 a.m. and it's not terrible.
Right.
It's fun. Everybody's excited. You know, we
So
have
then,
road trip snacks. It's
in all
great.
seriousness, we just need to, before you go, we need to figure out our recording schedule. If we need to do 2 a day or, 2 one day just to get ahead or whatever, but we'll figure that out.
You
off
just
air.
flashed your hand up. Does that mean 2 minutes left, or were you saying 2 a day?
No, we're actually done.
Oh,
Like this is it.
okay.
We've hit the end of the road.
And so we've come.
Till the end. I was going to harmonize with you. That's fine.
Oh, I stopped. I was just gonna let you
It's
go.
fine. It's fine. As always, please make sure that you like, share, follow our Facebook.
The Facebook.
Page.
That's
The
my
Facebook.
favorite. I don't know. Podcac was pretty good too.
Our Instagram, no.new.friends.podcast.
Take your time. It's okay.
I'm going to have to slow it down. Please make sure that you subscribe and share our YouTube channel. Also, there's still time to nominate us for Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition, Best Local Color, Best Local Podcast. And please check out our new Patreon page. That's www.patreon.com/No New Friends Podcast. Become a member and get access to exclusive content. And we will be back on Sunday.
Okay, bye.